Hi, let's make crochet legwarmers. So I used 100 grams of the light brown yarn and a 5mm hook, and also 50 grams of the dark brown yarn. You'd also need scissors and needle and thread. Tried to make a sketch of what I wanted my legwarmers to look like, and you guys have the pleasure of seeing that. I wanted to add cute little hearts and ruffles like you see in the beginning video. So the first thing you need to do is to make a slip knot, and then you're going to chain a chain long enough to be the length of your work. I chained 42 at first, and then I realized halfway into this video that my yarn was not going to be enough, so I had to go back and I reduced it to 35, and that is what you see at the end of the video. Once you've chained up to the length you want, you're going to chain one more, and then you're going to skip because that's going to be your turning chain. And in the second stitch, you're going to make half double crochets. You're going to do that half double crochet till you have 5 loops left. In that 5 loops, you're going to add 5 single crochets. So if I did 35 chains plus 1 that I'm going to skip, I'm going to make half double crochet in 30 of those chains, and then in the remaining 5 I'm going to make single crochet. I do this so that my top portion is tighter than my bottom portion, and I don't need to add a drawstring, or I did end up adding a drawstring. So once you reach the end of row 1, you're going to chain one more, and then you're going to turn your work, and in the back loop only, we're going to start by making 5 single crochets in the back loop. In this video, it seems like I'm making more than 5 single crochets, and that is because at first I wanted to make at least 8 single crochets, but I didn't like how that looked, so I frogged it and I made only 5 at the end of the day. And after your 5 single crochets, you're going to continue as normal by making half double crochet. So in your 6th stitch, you're going to make it a half double crochet, and you're going to continue, and you're going to repeat this pattern. So when you reach the end, you're going to chain 1, and then everywhere that there is a half double crochet, you put a half double crochet, but where there's a single crochet, you put a single crochet to keep the pattern. You're going to repeat these rows of half double crochets and single crochets until you have enough to go around your leg. I initially wanted to chain 30 to do 30 rows, but I ended up making only 28 because I ran out of yarn, and it was a bit too, like, the bottom wasn't as free as I wanted it to be. So up to you, you could make it 28 like I did, or you could make 30 to make it a better fit. Once you're satisfied with the amount of rows you've done, you want to slip stitch the 2 ends together so that you have a semi-complete project. So what you need to do is find the back. It's ribbed and I don't know where the back is. I just folded it anyhow. And you're going to make slip stitches all the way to the end. And when you are done, I'm going to show you how to make the ruffles. Once you are satisfied with what you have, you want to start back on the back of your work to make your ruffles. And I worked on I put my stitch in the center but you can start anywhere you actually like. And you're going to attach your yarn and chain one, and then you're going to make single crochets all around. Now for this single crochet, there is no science behind it. You just have to make it not so far apart, so that you have enough stitches for your increases. So I tried my best to make my single crochets as close together as I could. Once you've completed the row of single crochet, you're going to chain 3, and without turning your work around, in that same stitch you're going to make 2 double crochet, and that first chain of 3 counts as a double crochet. So in the next stitch you're going to make 3 double crochets, and that's basically what you're going to do. Each stitch is going to have 3 double crochets till you get to the end. Right, so once you're done with the ruffles, you are pretty much almost done with one leg. You do have to recreate this for the other leg, and you might want to put it on just to find out if the top portion is as tight as you'd like it to be, or if you want to add a drawstring. I ended up adding a drawstring because I just like the way the drawstring looked. It wasn't loose or anything, and this is how I made the cute little stars. I used it's a crochet hook, but it's like really tiny, embroidery hook, I think that's what it's called, and a thinner yarn because I didn't want it to be too big. But if you don't have a thin yarn, that's okay, you can use whatever size of yarn you have. This is not a tutorial for the star because I realized that the camera wasn't showing what I was doing, so I'm going to link the tutorial. I don't think it will be right for me to show you how I make the star when it's not my tutorial. So I'm going to link the tutorial that I used in right here. And so make as many stars as you'd like, or really anything you actually want to use. I use stars, I don't know why, because I'm a star. So when you're done, you want to sew your work. It's just basically using needle and thread to kind of sew it together. There's no way to explain it, but I used a brown yarn just in case my thread was showing through, so that it doesn't, but it didn't show through because I also made a pink version and it didn't show through. So yeah, you want to do that, and I'm going to show you how to make the drawstring when you're done. So for the drawstring part, you want to make the same star pattern, but instead of cutting your yarn when you're done, you're going to chain like 150. I chained 100 for the drawstring part, but I chained an extra 50 because I wanted to recreate the star at the end. If you're using a thicker yarn that I used, you might not need a whole 150 chain. I think it's because my yarn was thinner, so I had to chain more. But when you're done, you want to lace your work through the upper ribbed portion of your leg warmer, just like I'm doing in the video. You want to go back and forth, kind of like, or maybe like sewing, the way you usually sew that pattern. That's what you want to do. Just kind of follow what I'm doing. And when you kind of got into the end, I'm going to show you what to do. This is where it gets a bit tricky. When you're done lacing your work, you're going to lose at least 50 chains because we need the rest of the yarn to make the star. We basically just chained it so that we are able to lace the work. You can't lace the work if the star is already made at the end. So when you're done losing like 50, you want to chain 3 more and then you're going to slip stitch on your fourth work, on your fourth chain, and that is going to make a magic circle that you need for your star. And then you're just going to follow the star pattern one more time and you are pretty done with it. And this is what we have at the end of the day. If this tutorial really helped you, please drop a like and subscribe. Thank you.